The winds are shifting in the AFC North, and Cleveland is standing right at the center of it. What happens next could define whether the Browns finally step into long-term contention or keep spinning their wheels in the same old story. And trust me, what's happening behind the scenes right now might just set up one of the biggest turning points in this franchise's modern history. Here's the reality. The Cleveland Browns are entering one of the most important seasons of the past 2 decades. This isn't just another year on the schedule. This is the year where the franchise has to figure out its quarterback future once and for all. And believe it or not, that single question, who leads this team under center, is what's holding together the fate of head coach Kevin Stefanski, the direction of the front office, and the hopes of every fan who bleeds orange and brown. Now, let's talk about Stefanski for a second. This guy has had one of the most complicated tenures of any coach in the NFL. On one hand, he dragged this franchise out of the gutter and delivered something most Browns fans never thought they'd see: multiple playoff appearances. On top of that, he's a 2-time NFL Coach of the Year, something that's not easy to come by, especially in Cleveland. But here's the flip side: last season's collapse. A 3-14 record. Ugly football. An offense that looked completely lost. That kind of freefall usually ends with the coach getting shown the door, right? Not so fast. Because here's where things get interesting. According to insiders, Stefanski is safer than many people think. The reason? The Browns are fully locked in on the quarterback search. Ownership knows that until this team has a true franchise quarterback, swapping out the coach is just shuffling deck chairs. And right now, the spotlight is on 2 names, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. These 2 young quarterbacks are at the heart of Cleveland's plan for 2025. The front office isn't expecting a Super Bowl run this year. They're not even demanding a deep playoff push. What they want is clarity. Can Gabriel or Sanders become the guy? Can either of them grow into the role that this city has been desperately waiting for since the franchise came back in 1999? Or, and this is a big or, is it time to set sights on the 2026 draft, where names like Arch Manning are already circling as potential saviors? This approach changes everything. Instead of panicking and blowing things up, Jimmy Haslam and Andrew Berry are choosing patience. And that's rare in Cleveland, where front office chaos has been almost a tradition. This year, they're saying, let's slow down, let's evaluate, and let's finally build something that lasts. That patience is what's giving Stefanski more time. He's not being judged on wins and losses alone this year. He's being judged on development, on progress, on whether Gabriel or Sanders show signs of turning into the future. Of course, patience has limits, and let's be real, this is still the AFC North. The Ravens with Lamar Jackson aren't going anywhere. The Steelers, no matter how messy they look on offense, are never truly out of the fight. And the Bengals, with Joe Burrow at the helm, are always dangerous. Cleveland doesn't have the luxury of sitting back while the rest of the division pulls ahead. They have to show growth, and they have to do it now. That's why this year is so fascinating. Every game is more than just a win or a loss. It's a test. Can Gabriel read defenses faster? Can Sanders show poise in the pocket when the pressure's on? Can Stefanski's system finally work with a quarterback who fits what he's trying to do? These are the questions that are going to define the season. And if either Gabriel or Sanders flashes real potential, even for just a few drives, it could flip the script not only for the quarterback battle, but for Stefanski's entire future in Cleveland. But here's the bold truth. If neither of them steps up, the Browns will have no choice but to reset yet again and dive into the draft. That's the gamble they're making. And it's a gamble with massive stakes. Because if this strategy pays off, the Browns could finally have their guy and be set for the next decade. But if it doesn't, we could be looking at another painful cycle of turnover, frustration, and wasted seasons. For now, though, the message from the organization is clear: patience, development, growth. They're putting faith in Stefanski to guide this process, faith in Gabriel and Sanders to rise to the moment, and faith in a long-term vision that doesn't crack under pressure. Whether that vision pays off, we're about to find out. So buckle up, because the 2025 season is going to be one of the most revealing in Browns history. And while the wins and losses will matter, the real story is about the future, whether Cleveland finally finds its quarterback or whether we're back to the drawing board again. And Browns fans, I've got to hear from you. Do you believe Gabriel or Sanders can become the future of this team? Or should the Browns keep their eyes locked on the 2026 draft? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this debate is just getting started. And if you love keeping up with everything Browns, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe right here to Browns Breakout so you don't miss a single update. The AFC North is about to get wild, and the Browns are right in the thick of it. Quarterbacks from the wannabes. Average players shrink under spotlight, legends use it as fuel. Shedeur doesn't just handle pressure, he converts it into performance. That's not something you can teach in quarterback camp, that's genetic coding activated by championship-level preparation. So what happens next? Everything changes. The AFC North just got infinitely more interesting. The playoff picture in the conference looks completely different. And Cleveland, after decades of being the league's punchline, is about to become the story everyone can't stop talking about. There will be growing pains. Every rookie quarterback faces them. There will be interceptions, missed reads, and moments where the game looks too fast. The critics will pounce on every mistake like hyenas circling wounded prey. Let them. Because building a franchise quarterback isn't about perfection. It's about progression, resilience, and the kind of steady development that turns potential into dynasty-level production. Mark this moment in your memory, because you're witnessing history. Not just another quarterback change, not another depth chart shuffle, but the moment Cleveland stopped playing not to lose and started playing to dominate. The moment a city that's endured decades of heartbreak finally found something worth believing in again. The Shedeur-Sanders era isn't coming, it's here. And if you're not paying attention, you're about to miss one of the most compelling quarterback stories the NFL has seen in years. This isn't just about wins and losses, though there will be plenty of both. This is about transformation, redemption, and the kind of cultural shift that turns franchises from afterthoughts into appointment television. If you've made it this far, you know what time it is. Smash that like button because this Browns breakout analysis just gave you the inside track on the biggest quarterback story in the league. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications because we're about to document every step of what could be the most important season in Cleveland Browns history. This is just the beginning, and trust me, you don't want to miss what comes next. The earthquake is over. The rebuilding starts now, and Shedeur-Sanders is holding the blueprint.